Good morning to one and all. Today we will discuss about how to representation the data in the different forms. Nothing but so when we are collecting the information, how we can represent it, how we can represent our data in the different forms, whether it is a graphical form, graphical method, or table method, or any other methods. So today we will discuss about this representation of the data in the different forms. Is this visible now? Hello? Hello, dear students. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I think last day we have been discussed a little bit of frequency distribution. How we can we can do the frequency distribution. So I think we have discussed about the frequency and cumulative frequency also. So again, I'm repeating a little bit. So we need to understand the frequency distribution after collecting the information. So nothing but what is meant by frequency is nothing but is how often something occurs. Nothing but so anything happens, how many times it has been occurs. For example, if you take into account a person, Sam, played a football on different days. For example, Saturday morning he played, and Saturday afternoon also he played, and Thursday afternoon also he played. For example, when you are doing the different methods, for example, if you want to collect the information with regard to a person, a player, for example, so you need to understand how many times he has practiced for the one match. For example, if you take the Sam, so he played football on Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, and Thursday afternoon. So it means that so when you are doing the frequency distribution, the frequency was 2 on Saturday, nothing but so Saturday he has played twice, 2 times, that is for morning and afternoon. So one on Thursday, nothing but Thursday afternoon only he played, and 3 for the whole week. For example, if you want to conclude that how many times he has played in their particular week, only 3 times. When it comes to the particular day, so you can give the conclusion that so 2 times he has played on Saturday. Once he played in Thursday afternoon only. But when it comes to that whole week, so he has played three times in the whole week. Then, if you take into account, so simple, how we can count that frequency? So it's simple. So by counting the frequency, we can make a frequency distribution table. Simple. So how we can make frequency distribution by counting? For example, when you have been studying or when you are playing some cricket, simple we can put some numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can do the some mark. How many scores he has done? Nothing but so. See here. See, for example, if you take like 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. For example, if you take when you are playing some games, especially cricket. So, for example, as per the person only, you may count that how many runs he has done. 1 run or 3 runs or 2 runs. So like that. So we can simply count that how many times he has done 2 runs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. So how many times he has taken 3 runs like that? How many times he has taken only 1 run? Like that we can count it. So simple frequency distribution is nothing but by counting the frequencies we can make the frequency distribution table. Simple. So here when we are doing some frequency distribution, so that is mainly concentrated for the 3 main reasons. To facilitate the analysis of the data. So why we can do the frequency distribution? Simple, we can analyze the data. So how many times he has done 2 runs. And second one, to estimate the frequencies of the unknown population. Unknown population distribution from the distribution of the sample data. For example, last day, previous classes we have discussed it. That is what is meant by population, what is meant by sample. So sample will be taken from the population only. So in order to estimate the frequency of the unknown population, sometimes we don't know how many population are there in our area. For example, if you want to know that, here simply you can remember that population is not a census here in the statistics. So total information is called population in our statistics, total information. For example, if you want to know that student satisfaction in Hyderabad, Do you know that how many students are in the Hyderabad? Sometimes we don't know. So that is called unknown population. For example, if you want to study that, the satisfaction level of the students in Hyderabad, so you may take some sample of the students. So that is called distribution of sample data by taking from unknown population distribution. And third one, is it understood? There is unknown population distribution from the distribution of the sample data. And third one, to facilitate a computation of various statistical measures. For example, in order to measure that some statistical measures, we will do some frequency distribution also. For example, I think when you have been studied 10th class or 9th class, you may have studied that statistical method, simple statistical method, frequency distribution, mean, mode, median. Like that, we can we have discussed it in the earlier. So next, I think the next unit maybe we will discuss it deeply. Yeah. So for example, if you take raw data distribution, for example, the statistical data collected generally raw data or ungrouped data. Let us consider the daily wages in rupees of 30 laborers in a factory. For example, if you want to know that what is the socio-economic conditions of laborers in Hyderabad, your main objective is nothing but to study the socio-economic conditions of laborers in Hyderabad. For example, main motto when it comes to the economic factor, the income. Is it right or wrong? Their wages. So if you take 30 laborers in a particular region, for example, if you take in a Secunderabad area, for example, if you find out at a Patna center, so most of the laborers will come to at a clock tower area. So they will go for some jobs. For example, the daily wages. For example, if you want to study about the laborers in Hyderabad, so you may take 100. For example, if you take 30 samples, so about that their daily wages. For example, you see, if you ask one person how much you are getting daily wages, some person can express that he is getting 80 rupees per day. So another person may get 70, another person may get 55, 50, 60, 65, 40, 30. So you will collect such kind of data from the laborers. So in order to understand what is the minimum wage, what is the maximum wage. For example, sometimes they will collect the information. So you need to get some information. That is what is the minimum wage rate in the Hyderabad and what is the maximum wage rate for the laborers. So in order to understand, you need to arrange the data in the ascending order or descending order. Anyone, ascending order or descending order. So here the data has been arranged in the ascending order from small to big. So ascending nothing but small to big number. So for example, if you observe in the particular 30 samples, what is the minimum wage? Here see 30. So next one is a 35. Like that, you need to arrange the data in the chronological order. So whether the ascending order or descending order. So it depends on your interest as well as your convenience. So we need to arrange the data in the ascending order or descending order. Then we can come to know that. So in Hyderabad, in particular located area, if you take Secunderabad area, so the labor's wage rate, minimum wage rate is 30, maximum wage rate is 90. So are you clear now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? So when you collect the information, raw data, how you can come to know there's some conclusions, little bit conclusion. Then we will do different types of methods and we will give a different conclusion also. For example, we are giving the minimum wage rate and maximum wage rate. But what is the average wage rate? Then we'll come to know in the next unit. Okay. Sometimes if you say ungrouped frequency distribution, there's a grouped distribution, ungrouped frequency distribution. For example, if you survey at 40 families in a village, the number of children per family was recorded. For example, if you take, when you want to know that fertility rate, for example, if you take, or child status in a particular village. For example, when you take 30 families, for example, if I have the one family, for example, one person family, if I have that, how many children are per person? For example, how many children do we have? For example, if I have that householder, For example, if I ask your father, that is, how many children you have? Your father may respond, one child. Okay. If I ask the another household, so they may say zero, nothing but they don't have children, right? So if I ask another person, he may give the reply that I have the three children. Is it right or wrong? So like that, when we are collecting information, we will do some, we'll gather some information like this. Okay. So basically, if you want to know clearly, I can give you some clear picture about that questionnaire. Then you can easily understand. So when you're collecting all the sample only, we will put like this. So before that, we need to understand the questionnaire. I think a little bit I will show. Is it visible now? Yeah. See, is it visible now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See,
Yes, sir.
so see, for example, when you want to collect some information with regard to particular thing, so simple, we will collect a name, what is the gender of the household, what is the age, what is the marital status, that is whether the person is married or unmarried. So if you want to collect information with regard to education, so literate, school, inter or degree or others, the socioeconomic conditions, status, SC, ST, BC, EBC or OC, or the others. So like this, so we need to collect some information we not to understand easily. So here, so like that, how many children do we have? Like that, I think we have that here. In this questionnaire, we don't have that kind of question. How many children do we have? So like that, here, when we collect some information of what 40 families in a village, we will collect some information. For example, one is nothing but here, a household person, he has a one child. So 0 means they don't have the children. So 3 means they have the 3 children. Like that, if they have the 4, so they have the 4 children. The 6, it means that they have the 6 children. Okay. So then the frequency distribution. For example, when you are studying 10th or 9th standard, basically we have done like this, the frequency distribution. See, 0, nothing but how many members have the, how many members they don't have the children. For example, 0. For example, if you take last pick, for example, 0 here, 0 here, 0 here. See, it means that how many zeros are there? 3. It means that 3 members, they don't have the children. They don't have the children. Nothing but 3 frequency. It means that 3 households people, they don't have the children. Okay. For example, 1. It means that how many members, how many households, they have the one child. One child. For example, if you observe, See, 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here 7. Like this, we will do the frequency distribution. We can do the frequency distribution. So like that, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many members? There are the 6 children. 2 people only. For example, if you observe the last table also, 6 is here, 6 is here. It means that only 2 families, they have 6 children per family. Okay. So next, frequency distribution following the number of children. So it is a discrete series, no problem. So it is also very important. For example, say the continuous frequency distribution. So discrete in the sense which is not repeated again and again. Sometimes we will say that simple we will show that how many families have the how many children. How many families they have the number of children. Simple we can say. The continuous frequency distribution. So in this form of distribution refers to group of values. For example, if you take wage distribution of 100 employees, wage distribution. For example, if you take weekly wages, for example, number of employees here, 4 employees, they are getting weekly wages from 50 to 100 only, 50 to 100, nothing but. So out of 100 people, only 4 employees or 4 people are getting their weekly wages range from 50 to 100, 50 to 100. Within the 4 people, one may get 50, one may get 100. So remain 2 people maybe 51 or 99. So they may be differ. That is a continuous frequency distribution. For example, if you take 12. So here 12 employees are getting their weekly wages is 100 to 150. Nothing but 12 members are getting their weekly wages 100 to 150. So the lowest value is 100, highest value is 150 for the 12 people. When it comes to the 5 here, the 5 people are getting their weekly wages 350 to 400. So one may get 350, another may get 400 also. That is the range. We can say that what is the range of income you are getting weekly. So 350 to 400. One person may get 350, another person may get 400 also. That is a different wage rate of different peoples. And within that, when we are discussing that continuous series, so class limit also we need to discuss. The class limits are the lowest and highest values. See here, there is the lowest and highest. This is the lowest and this is the highest. So here, when it comes to that marks only, we can understand when we are done in the 10th and 9th standard also. For example, take the class 30 to 40. The lowest value of the class is 30 and highest class is 40. For example, here in the table, that is the lowest value is 50, highest value is 100 for that 4 employees. But when it comes to the all our study, the lowest value is 50, highest value is 400. That means that so the average weekly, the lowest weekly wage is 50 rupees and highest weekly wage is 400 rupees. Okay. So in statistical calculation, lower class limit is denoted by L. Simple, when we have studied 9th and 10th standard, already we have discussed it. That is L and U. L for the lower limit, U for the upper limit. Lower limit and upper limit. Generally, we can indicate L and U. L and U. See, in order to understand easily, the class limit, the lower class limit. For example, here, see, rating 0 to 2. This is 2 is the lower limit. Within this class interval, so that is 2 is the highest value. When it comes to the 3 to 5, this is 3 is the lowest value, 5 is the highest value. So here, the upper limit 2, 5, 8, 11, 14. So here, the left side values are called lowest values are right side called values are upper limits generally. So class interval. What is mean by class interval? The class interval may be defined as the size of the each grouping of the data. So it means that class interval, how much the difference between the lowest value and highest value. Simple, we can say that the range into which the data are divided. See, for example, 50 to 75, 75 to 100, 100 to 125, or the class interval. For example, see, so here the data is different, here the data is different. See here, for example, the class interval 20 to 30, the 10. So when you are doing that, this kind of continuous frequency distribution, you need to maintain the same class interval. Nothing but you want to maintain the same distance. For example, you see here 20 to 30, then 30 to 40. So here we have the person has taken 10. Difference is 10. Here 10, here 10, here 10, here 10, and here 10. Okay, that we should maintain in the statistics when you are doing the frequency distributions. And width and size of the class interval. So the difference between the lower and upper class limits are called width and size of the class interval. These are denoted by C. So think that 1 minus 4 or 4 minus 1. Simple, we can say that 3, 3. So here we need to maintain the class interval, the same. Here, yeah, it comes under that next class, next unit. So generally, to discuss also here. Another one, the types of class intervals, the exclusive method. So when the class intervals are fixed, that upper limit of the one class is the lower limit of the next class. For example, when we are doing that, the class exclusive method, so the 10 to 20, then 20 to 30, that is called exclusive method. It means that, so fix that the upper limit of the one class is the lower limit of the next class. Say, here you can understand easily. So 0 to 500, there is a one continuous series, continuous frequency distribution. Here, this 0 is the lower value, is a 5000 is the highest value in this interval. When it comes to the second one, so 5000 becomes to the lowest value and 10,000 is the highest value, that is the upper value. Here the 10,000 is highest value, when it comes to the next level, it is the lowest value. So that is called exclusive method. So simple, you can see that, so upper limit of the one class is the lower limit of the next class. It is known as the exclusive method of the classification. Then inclusive method. Generally, we can do such kind of data. For example, you may have the doubt. For example, if you take the information about the one person, their expenditure is 5,000. Here also 5,000. Whether the one person comes under this frequency or in this frequency. Generally, in the tables or you can say Excel or in softwares. For example, if you take those expenditure is between 0 to 4,000, 49.99. A family, those expenditure is 5,000 would be included in the class interval of 5,000 to 10,000 range. For example, 5,000, 0 to 5,000 means that, so below 5,000 only the person comes under this interval. If the person expenditure is 5,000 exactly, he may comes in this interval. Okay. For example, if I collect the information, so what is your expenditure, monthly expenditure? For example, you may say that 4,099 rupees or 4,999 rupees. You may comes in this range. Or some other person may say that 4,999.99 paise. For example, you may exactly say. For example, that person also comes under that this first range also, 0 to 5,000 range. So another person, he may exactly say that 5,000 my expenditure. The person comes under this interval. this frequency. Okay. Then inclusive method. So in this method, overlapping of the class intervals is avoided. Overlapping. Sometimes we can do some overlapping. So simply we can avoid that overlapping. For example, some have the doubts like that. So for 4,999.99 more or less equal to 5,000. So simple we can ignore 1 by SR. So sometimes we need to avoid also that kind of intervals, that kind of data also. So both lower and upper limits are included in the class interval. Say the class interval includes 5 to 9. For example, say 5 to 9. For example, if the particular marks the range between 5 to 9, so it will come in this range, the person. For example, some other person may not get 9.5. Okay. So when we don't have that kind of data, for example, when the teacher conducts in the internals or external exams, for example, if they don't get the point marks, for example, 9.5, 10.5, 12.5. For example, in that case, we need to take other data, other frequency distribution. For example, if they have that kind 9, 10, like that, 11, 12, 29, 39, 49, or some another, etc. So in that case, so that is the inclusive method, the 5 to 9. For example, how many members are got 5 to 9 marks? 7 members have got that 5 to 9 marks. And how many members have got 10 to 14 marks? 12 members, like that. So how many members have got 35 to 40, 39 marks? Only 5 members. How many students are there total? 70. So out of 70, we can understand easily. So 21 members have got majority of the members. I think we can say that majority of the members out of 71, 70, 21 members is the highest here. So highest member of the students have got marks 20 to 29. So next one is that types of class intervals. There is a open and open-end classes. Sometimes the class limits is missing either at lower end value or upper end value. Sometimes we don't know that what is that lower value and higher value. See, you can easily understand by looking at this. See, for example, salary. For example, below 2000, how many members are getting? We don't know that what is the lowest level in that particular salary level. For example, one may get 100 rupees, another may get 1000 rupees also. But when we are doing such kind of open classes, below and above. So generally, when we are doing some research, that's why we can calculate that lowest value and highest value. So lowest value, highest value, on the base of lowest value and highest value, we can distribute our salary. So how many members below 2000, how many members above 8000? For example, if you say that when you're collecting the salary, when you are collecting the information, so you may get lowest value is 1000 rupees, for example. Highest value is 10,000. For example, I'm saying when you're basically, if you collect the information about the salary of a particular industry employees, you may get their weekly salary is lowest is 1000 rupees, highest is 10,000. So in that case, you may study that how many members have below 2000 salary. Here you may get 7, for example. So below 2000 salary, there are 7 members are getting below 2000. So you want to know that how many employees or how many workers are getting salary from 2000 to 4000. So you may get a 5. Here we can say that 5 people are getting their salary is 2 to 4000. So like that 4 to 6000, 6 to 8000. You want to know that how many members are getting above 8000 per week. So here 3 members. So this is an open end class. Here this is a open end. Here the above and below. This is called open end classes. Open end classes. Is it clear now? Hello? Hello? Is it visible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, visible.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Shall I close? Somebody is put that message that we are English class has started. Shall I stop or shall I continue for that more 5 minutes? So it depends on your choice.
Stop, sir. Stop.
Okay.